as you take me to the start. Sweetheart, sweetheart. Street dog eyes anticipate me. I'm a kid again in a vibrant life, like a ghost on marble steps into the rain. Make the weight of the world feel like nothing. The street dog eyes anticipate me. I'm a kid again in a vibrant life. Like a ghost on marble steps into the rain. Make the weight of the world feel like nothing. Make the weight of the world feel like nothing.
2 minutes to go, guys. Not long. One more song and then I'm going to be live. Stay in there. We've got a good treat for you happening right now. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me cue it up. It's raining in Sussex today, guys.
Oh, I get blue in the morning. I get blue in the evening too.
Oh, yeah. Let me hear that song.
I get blue in the morning time. I get blue in the evening too. If the evening come around too long, Lord have mercy, I get blue in the afternoon.
1 minute.
Listening to the birds outside my window. I say, Lord, put a heart song on me, yeah. Listening to birds outside my window. I pray, oh Lord, put a heart song on me. They waking up in the morning. They ain't blue, still they can sing.
What a voice. That is an amazing voice. How are you all doing, guys? We are live on YouTube. Good afternoon. What time is it? I still didn't make it. I promise you, I will make it between 4 and 5 at some point. Hello, how are you doing? I couldn't make it. I've tried so hard today to get here between 4 and 5, and it's 5:10. Will you let me off? How are you all doing? That's an amazing song. Let me just put that over there. Ah, the rain in Spain, the rain in Sussex. Let me have a slurp of coffee because I've been looking at this coffee for the last 5 minutes and I could really do with a little bit of it. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. I hope you're all well anyway. How are you all doing out there? It's a beautiful day for ducks today in Sussex. It's absolutely pouring down out there today. I haven't been out. I haven't even taken a photograph, which is very unlike me. Nice to see you, Nelly, with us today, and Carol, and I don't know who the third person is, but hi, how you doing? Good morning. It's 9:10. Perfect timing here. Brilliant. Was that good? Have I kind of got you awake this morning with a little bit of music? Good to have you on board. Thank you for joining me. So what I am talking about today is, and Nelly wasn't with us yesterday, so I don't know whether you saw yesterday's YouTube live, but I'm trying to do these little YouTube live creatives every single day. Heavy rain Carol has had. We've had heavy rain since yesterday. It arrived with us about lunchtime. Do you know what? I've been hunkered down in the office today, hence the funky wallpaper. Hunkered down in the office working on some stuff today, and it's just absolutely hammering down. I really appreciate not having to be out in that rain today. It's really good not to be out there. But so anyway, I was saying to you about what the idea about these little meetups is, to have a talk, creative talks about photography and visualizing stuff and good music, because I love music and I love imagery and I love photography and films and I love all that kind of stuff. And that's what we're doing here. Saw the one in the car, that one. Yeah, that was the first one I did on this little idea. So we're going to try and do them every single day. So hopefully you can join us. That's my challenge. We're going to do one every single day, and hopefully I'm going to bring different music to you. So I haven't done it yet, but each day I'm going to play music to you whenever I can, and I will put the name of the song up in the comments afterwards for you, or in the description, so you can go and check out the music, because some of the music I got for you is absolutely amazing. And I have a very diverse choice of music that I throw in there, so I hope you're going to like it. I can't tap the screen. Hang on, where are we? Tap that screen. Tap. I loved it, watched it last night. Thank you, Nelly. I appreciate it. So anybody that doesn't know, you have to do the little thumbs up. Anybody that doesn't know, if you've never used Periscope before, Periscope, you can tap the screen. We can't do that on YouTube, unfortunately. Good lunchtime chat for us in the States. Hey, Andy, nice to have you on board, buddy. I wondered who that third person was lurking in the distance, so thank you very much. Another slurp of coffee. So listen, I thought, right, okay. I literally stopped doing some work. So if I'm looking tired, it's because I've been concentrating like a madman. I thought, what are we going to talk about today? And as if by magic, inspiration struck. You've seen the card already. You've probably been watching it for the last 3 or 4 minutes while you've been listening to some good music. But this quote, I found this quote, okay, and I thought, I don't shoot what it looks like. I shoot what it feels like. And for me, photography, tell me, I can't get him hearts. Thank you. Brilliant, excellent load of hearts there. Thank you from Nelly. This quote for me summed up, I guess, what I've been trying to do with photography since I picked up a camera 30 plus years ago. I know I don't look old enough, do I? But I've been taking pictures for a long time. I touched on it yesterday. To me, photography, a good image, let's go back to me because enough of that. A good image, all right, for me is all about capturing, it's not about whether it's in focus, okay? It's not about whether it's pin sharp, it's even exposed properly. It's not about lighting, although all these things do play a key part in the image, okay? But it's not about whether it's been taken on film or a digital camera, an iPhone. It doesn't matter whether it's been taken on the latest all singing, all dancing Nikon, Canon, Sony camera that costs the price of a house. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. It's about the feeling that an image has is the most important thing about a photograph, okay? If you can capture the feeling of what you felt or the subject felt at the moment the image was taken, that's what it's all about. Okay, it's so, I hope I've kind of said that in the right way, because I'm thinking back and I'm going to watch this back and go, actually, I didn't explain that very well. But you know what I mean, okay? I guess we're really talking about editorial photography. We're talking about photojournalism in particular. But surely it comes into play as well when you're taking a portrait photograph of somebody. It's so key. Okay, I meet you for the first time. And you've booked me or you run a business and you've asked me to take your photograph, okay? I've got to really know about and learn about you as a person very, very quickly, okay? And then I've got to match that photograph up into what I want to portray in the photograph, okay? So if it's a business photograph, maybe the rules are slightly different. But I want to put across you in that photograph, even if you make cupcakes in a cafe, you know, it's somewhere, or you're a photographer or something like that. Here we go, Carol. It's not all technical, it's heart and soul. Exactly. And if you can start to capture that in your imagery, whether it's video or whether it's still imagery, it will work. Okay. And the image becomes very, very, it takes on a new life. It becomes something that I always try and strive to do in a photograph. And it's not always possible. Go back and look at the classic images, those world famous images that were taken a long time ago, even more recent ones. But the ones that spring to mind for me are, there's classic black and white images that were taken. And you think about those images and it makes you feel something. You look at an image and you immediately know where you are sometimes. You immediately know what's happening. You can see what that person is feeling. Yeah, even the soul of the woods and the bluebells. Exactly. It comes into effect. Guys on the girder eating lunch in New York. Classic, brilliant example. Lovely black and white photograph. For people that haven't seen it before, I think it was in New York, wasn't it? But I don't know whether was it the Empire State Building being built? I'm not too sure. It's an old black and white photograph. And it's all the guys right up high, and all they've built of this amazing tower building is the steel work all around it. And there's this beautiful photograph of the guys. It's been made into posters, and you can buy it and put it up on your wall. Of the guys that are sat on the girders, and if I remember rightly, they're right on the edge of the girder, and you can see the city dropping below them. They're way, way up. And you've got them all sat along the girder here, and they're eating their lunch, and packed lunch, And it just says so much in that image. And there's so many images that are being made and created on a daily basis now. I think there is a danger of almost the world is becoming oversaturated in images. So when you're editing your images, be real strict on yourself. Yeah, does that say something? Has that got any emotion in the picture? And just show those good images and try create that. So that's what I was trying to get across to you today. Let me show you some images that I've taken, which you might look at and go, absolutely not. That's a load of old rubbish. I don't know. They need to have that something. Yeah. And I'm tripping over my words because it's very difficult to put into words or put it into a quote or anything like that of what it has. Because it's not just a feeling. It's not look. It could be a look in somebody's eyes. 2 million look but do not see. Very true. So sometimes it's a look in a person's eyes. So if you're after a portrait photograph, you're sometimes trying to capture that look, that spark of that person and that personality in the image. That's why it's very important to get people relaxed when you're taking photographs of them and learn them. You've got to learn about the person. You've got to understand them. Let me show you this. Let me scoot this around a little bit and I'll show you some of my images. Let's do this. I'm still doing this on the iPhone. We might set this up so we can set it up on the on a little bit more. So that we are going to talk about this image. I might save this image for tomorrow, actually. This is an image of some boats returning to Ramsgate in Kent at the 75th anniversary of the Dunkirk evacuation. A hot topic at the moment because there's an amazing film called Dunkirk out at the moment, but I'm not going to show you that. Thank you. I think some of you may have seen it, but for those that you haven't, let me scroll down here. Hey Tell, nice of you to join us. Thanks buddy, we're live, we are here. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee while everyone says hello to you. Oh, it's good coffee today. I don't know what blend I've got. I've got a different blend of coffee, guys. And it's quite a fruity taste to it today. It's kind of nice, not too harsh, nice and mellow. Okay, so this image I think is a classic image that describes, or is an image that was trying to get across what I wanted to capture. Okay, to me this is an image. I don't care whether this is my image or somebody else's image. I don't like showing other people's images, so you know you've got to get permission. So I'm going to show you my images. If any of that makes sense, please say thank you to me another time. You can tell I'm a bit tired today. So this image, I was doing some photographs down at a famous Lido. They call them Lidos in this country. I don't know if they're called Lidos all around the world. So they're outdoor swimming pools, and they're dotted around, and they're coming back into vogue a lot more now. And some of them have been rebuilt, and I went down and did some photographs of them. So this is a place called Pell's Pool, which is in Lewes. And I asked to take this guy's photograph, and I just loved the feel of the water. There's an emotion there, okay? Because it straight away you look at the image, okay, and it looks like it's a hot day, and this young guy swimming in there, or just relaxing, even just in the pool, and that water looks so inviting when it's really, really hot. So that's what I'm talking about, creating that. It's not easy to do in an image. It's really not. Sometimes if you go and try and look for an image, just scroll down. This is my website, by the way. Sometimes when you're looking for an image, and you're trying your hardest to capture the image and create something in there and put a mood into your photography, it doesn't happen. I don't know what it is. You can almost overthink it. Now I'm going to put this out there and see whether people agree with me. The type of imagery that we're talking about just happens. And as a photographer or an image maker or a creative person, you've got to know your stuff to be able to, and you've got to be able to see it. Nelly said about it earlier on, about you've got to be able to see an image. And when you can see the image, you're prepared to take the image. You're ready to take the image. You know your camera settings. You know how to capture that image without thinking about it. This is a classic example. Let me click through on this. Is a night crossing I did over from, where's the read more? There it is. I'd been over to a place called the Isle of Wight, which is an island just off the south coast here. Lovely place to go. The ferry trip is like 20 minutes maximum. It always makes you feel like you're going on holiday. I'd gone over there. I had to shoot some assignments over there, and I was on my way back. And let's just bring that down a little bit. And I thought, well, it might make some nice images as the ferry came into Portsmouth. No, absolutely. I'll come back to that in a minute, Carol, about auto settings. Absolutely. Remind me if I don't. Please remind me. So the ferry was coming through and coming back into Portsmouth. You can see the city here. And this marvellous spinnaker tower that they have here, which is all lit up. And I thought it might make some interesting images. Okay. The light was really low. Okay. I very rarely use a tripod. I'm quite fluid. I don't like the restrictions of a tripod. I like to be fluid with my images. I've always pushed the boundaries when I was shooting film. I quite happily put a roll of film in that was, really high ISO. I think, at times, 800 used to be a standard for me when I was shooting on film because I love low light photography. So this was coming in and I'm on deck. I'm thinking, what am I going to get? I think I'm going to say I had my 20 to 70mm lens on me. I don't think I had anything more than that on me. All the kit was in the car, travelling light. And then this happened. This scene happened with everybody on deck. I don't know whether I've got any more images on here. Oh, I've got a couple more actually. But that is my best image. Oh, that's right. Actually, this was done a little while ago, and I'm actually looking through these images and remembering now. I actually was strolling around the deck for a little while before I got that final image, and just cranking up the settings on the camera. These were all taken on a Nikon. I think it was a D800 I was using then. Cranking up the ISO right up high, okay, so I could shoot handhold. This image isn't sharp, but at the time, very, very blue image, but at the time, I like the feel of it. You're out at sea, the waves were breaking. I'm on top of the ferry. You can hear the seagulls were still kind of fluttering around, and it was getting darker and darker. I just wanted to create that mood. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Thanks for joining me, buddy. Here's another little shot that I did. As I'm wandering around, I've got my mojo. I'm in my mode. I've got my settings on my camera. I'm now totally forgotten about the settings on my camera. I'm just shooting images. These are my images. These are images that are not for anybody but me. Just happen to put them up on my blog. So you've got a guy. I don't know whether you can make out the guy there. So I'm looking through these windows now inside the ferry. So you've got the guys. Maybe he's a regular commuter on this short trip back over to the mainland. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate it. And he's asleep. I think I took about 3 frames of this. But I kept it quite wide because, you know, if there's no point going right in close to this window because you couldn't see that it was on board a boat or on board a ferry. I was pleased with that image. It's my image. A lot of images I take for myself. You can see how dark it is, how moody. I love the sky. A bit like I did a Periscope after I did my YouTube live yesterday. The sky was amazing. So I'm just wandering around on deck, just lurking for images. Little white horses. These are called what we call down here anyway in the Sussex. Little white horses on the top of the waves. Very flat sea. Bow of the boat there. I think it's almost straight. Past another ferry, which was nice. It's very grainy images. There's a lot of noise going on in these images, but you know, I don't mind. I think it adds to it's all about this, okay? I don't shoot what it looks like, I shoot what it feels like. Yeah? You could put a tripod on this and you could mess around with the colours and say that image is too blue. But that's how blue it was at the time that I was there. It had this mysterious light going through there. This image, all these images, describe to me or remind me of how I felt when I was taking those images. It's so important you try and capture that when you can. So Carol mentioned an interesting thing there. She said about sometimes I go automatic settings. Let's scoot back to me for a second. So, it's another slurp of coffee. A good you always tells a story. Exactly. Storytelling images, totally. It's good coffee. Very good coffee. What was I saying about? Oh yeah, Carol mentioned on the messages there, on the remarks there, she said about images and how when I'm taking images, I've mentioned before about putting the camera on automatic settings. Okay. Why do I say put the camera on automatic settings when you're out taking photographs? The reason why I say to do that is you can get bogged down with what settings your camera should be on. And you're so busy thinking about what settings your camera's on that you forget to see the images, okay? So I say to people when they're starting out and they want to progress and you want to get your images looking better, put your camera on automatic. Yes, I know, terrible. All right, you go on YouTube right now and you'll see numerous videos about how you should take your camera off automatic. You Google it and you will be told, take your camera off automatic. No, do not take your camera off automatic, right? If you want to improve your photography, here is a top tip from somebody that's been taking photographs for 30 years. Okay? You've got a camera, you've got an iPhone, whatever it is, okay, but predominantly a camera, and you're going, I want to improve my images. I'm not happy with the standard that they are. I just want to get them looking better, okay? Best thing you can do, put your camera on automatic and forget about the settings and concentrate on the images. Full stop, nothing else, okay? Totally concentrate on the image. Concentrate the mind. You've got to train your eye. It's all about training your eye, and we'll go into further depth about that about another time. Train your eye to see the image. Then you can take the photographs, okay? And you're seeing. You've got to see the images. Seeing all the time. Looking. You've got to look. You've got to anticipate how people... I've done it live on Periscope where I've been on the beach and said to people, there's a view here that I'm photographing, and I've showed people the view, and I've said it would be absolutely brilliant if I could get somebody walking across that skyline, or I could get them walking on the beach. That's just what they need, or somebody with their dog. And then we will watch somebody live. I've done it and I've proven it to people, and we watch people coming into the shot, and I will show them, and they'll watch. And you're almost willing them to do something and move across there, and you're waiting, anticipating what that person might do. And then as you're anticipating it, you've already got the settings sorted out in your camera. That's why I'm saying go automatic, okay? If you're a photographer with years of experience, you can look at a scene and you can you know what the setting is going to be before you've even taken the photograph, okay? So if you go automatic, it makes it a lot easier for somebody that's less experienced and is not taking photographs every single day, okay? So automatic, you're watching the image, you're concentrating on that person, you're thinking about where will that person go? If that person walks across the scene, am I going to be in the right position for this picture to really work and capture what I'm trying to capture, that feeling in that image of that precise moment, that moment in time that's going to make all the difference. So I've got to now concentrate on where I'm going to be. I'm going to have to anticipate where that person's going to be. So forget settings, automatic. I'm liking aperture priority a lot at the moment. Great. I shoot 98%, 99% of my images on aperture priority, total aperture priority, okay? There's a big but coming in here, and I'm going to, not over my shoulder, but there is a big but coming in here, and people are going to say to me, what, but, hold on, I'm going to come to that, okay? So concentrating, you're looking, watching the images, you're thinking. When I'm doing this image, look here now, okay? My favourite image, excuse me for whizzing past all this. My favourite image, I am waiting, I'm concentrating. I'm not thinking about camera settings, or I am, but it's second nature to me. I'm thinking about, I've already got the camera set up. I'm thinking about what is going to happen between these two people here. I'm timing it right with the lights and everything like that. It's all happening. All right, you're going to think I'm crazy, but it's a magical moment when an image comes together. All right, it is. Everything comes into play for you, but you've got to be totally ready for that image to capture it. Mentally, physically, you've got to be seeing an image. It's so important. You've got to be so in tune with the situation, the people around you, what is happening to create that image. And then hopefully sometimes you capture it. You don't always capture it, and you can do it. So back to the settings. If you're on automatic setting, it helps you create your images. But you'll say to me, okay, but I've been shooting photographs on automatic settings and the camera's not doing what I want it to do. You're absolutely right. The camera won't always do what you want it to do. But you can then learn from your mistakes a little bit. You can go, okay, well, when I took that image, okay, the camera was automatic setting and it was overexposed, it was underexposed, it wasn't in focus. I wanted the picture to be a lot darker, but what actually happened was the camera program set the image to be really bright and I wanted it to be really moody, because what it had done is the aperture priority, or the program setting, which way am I pointing, Scott, has taken the meter reading off this light and not off Scott as he was talking. So the picture's not worked. So Scott Ramsey on that YouTube channel doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, but I do. Because what you can then do is you can learn from that. So rather than trying to learn everything about photography in one go, which is daunting to say the least, you can go, okay, when I took that image of Scott Ramsey for that portrait shoot I did, okay, the meter reading was wrong. So now I'm going to go, how do I stop that happening? Okay, so I can keep it in program mode and I can alter the exposure on there, or I could have gone to manual and taken the exposure meter reading off here. And then you've got somewhere to start with, yeah? If you try and learn photography from day one and you go online and you go, my God, there's too much to learn. Aperture priority, program mode, focusing, continuous focusing, manual metering. It's daunting, yeah? And photography should not be like that, it should be fun. So that's why I say go on automatic mode and it will help you, all right? And then as you learn and you think you want to do stuff differently, that's what you can do. So that is the top tip for today. I need more coffee. So Robert over here was talking about aperture priority. I shoot 90, as I said before, 99% of my photography is done on aperture priority. It's a beautiful setting, okay? It makes you just allow you to concentrate on depth of field of images. And we'll talk about that another time. We'll go into all the depth of field kind of stuff and what kind of equipment I recommend. It was poorly exposed instamatic image that made me want to learn for technical side. That's it. But I think, and I would hope you would agree, that there's so many different variants that you can change on a camera to take one photograph. There's so many different, it's like cooking, baking a cake, but you don't have one recipe. You can 3, 4, 5, 10 different recipes, and different photographers will tell you different things of how to achieve it. So sometimes you can take a photograph, learn from that mistake, and then you can go, okay, yeah, okay, I'm going to now learn. I'm going to focus on that one thing. I'm going to master that. And then you can go on there. But aperture priority is a great setting. I love that setting. It's just super. But there'll be professional photographers out there and go, hang on, my moustache is not straight. There'll be professional photographers that possibly would watch this and go, what is this man talking about? Everybody has an opinion. I enjoy learning more every day. Well, yeah, that's another top tip, is to take photography if you really want to get good at something. And I kind of touched on this earlier on yesterday, is if you want to be good at something, you've got to really learn. You've got to dedicate yourself to it, okay? You've really got to take images every day and train your eye. And if you're very, very lucky, you get to a point where the images are just flowing. And I tell you what, it's a magical time when you everything you take a picture of, every situation you go to, every job you go on, every event you cover, the images are just flowing, absolutely flowing. Everywhere you look, there's an image, there's a photograph there. The light is perfect. You know how to master every single bit of light. There's no light, zilch, and it's raining and it's overcast. You know what to do about it to create an image. Really bright sunny day, you know how to master it, and that's a really good feeling. But trust me, you've got to be taking, I don't know, I'm not even going to guesstimate, but you've got to be taking images for a long time daily. I'm going to throw a figure out there. You've got to be taking 300, 400, 500 images a day for a long time, yeah, unless you're extremely gifted and it all becomes natural for you. But yeah, it just flows, and it's a beautiful time. Everything just images. It's a lovely time. Listen, guys, I'm going to end with some images of my very own. Let's scoot this around. Just there. Scoot down a little bit and just show you some of these. And then I'm going to finish my coffee time chat with you. Hey, look, there's another one. So this image here, pretty sharp, but it sums it up. Hey, remember sheet film? Yeah, I do. So this image was taken on a moving boat. What's the bonus with digital images? That's the bonus with digital image that in the old days. Ah, yeah, Carol, I got what you're saying there. Oh, thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. So yeah, the bonus of shooting digital stuff is, yeah, you can see it. You can see it and you can create stuff. But I always used to, even when I was shooting film, the other photographers used to tell me off. They honestly used to tell me off for shooting too many images. I've always taken a lot of images whenever I am out. That's all right. So, typing and doing tea, says Carol. I've always taken a load of images. Now, the reason, I've wondered sometimes why I take a lot of images, and I think it's because I get in a rhythm of taking images, and sometimes it's flowing, and there's a little bit of a, again, I don't want to over-romanticize this, but sometimes when I'm working, I get into a rhythm, and the images are flowing, and I guess it's the click of the shutter, I don't know what it is. It's all your technique. Another photographer would turn up and do 3 images on an event where I've taken 3 or 4 images. Probably an old school photographer, probably somebody like my dad, who grew up on the really early cameras where you counted every single frame, and you didn't have a lot of film. Yeah, and you used to go, used to do and take 3 or 4 images. Anyway, guys, I'm reminiscing too much. I have work to do. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much for watching on YouTube Live, which I'm very much enjoying. Have a great rest of the day. Go and get yourself some nice dinner, and see you all again soon. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about, and I'm going to show you some images. Oh, it's on the other screen, so I'm going to forget that. I'm going to, great. I'm going to be talking about the Dunkirk images. Oh, that was close. I tell you what we're going to do. I'll show you if I'm at home and I'm not out and about taking pictures, or in my little office, should I say. I don't think I'll be at home. I'll probably be in my office. I'm going to be talking about some of the Dunkirk images that I took, which I'm really pleased with, and you can have a look at those at the 75th anniversary. We can talk about that. I'll bring you some more music. Don't forget to check back on the information of this YouTube, and you can check out the exact songs that I was playing earlier on. You can go and check out these amazing songsters. Musicians, that's probably a better word. See you all again soon. Bye from me. See you later. Ciao, amigos. Or adios even, or something like that. I need more coffee. See you later. Thanks for joining me.